Hi travelers, Tara here, and I'm coming to you this evening with a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2016. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to get more clarity on your situation requires a personal reading. I do readings 6 days a week, and my turnaround is usually between 48 to 72 hours, and that also includes the video readings. If I'm a little bit late on those, I do always try to contact people and let them know I'm a little behind. Um, the way that the readings work is you give me your information, I meditate on your birth date around your situation with the cards, and then I do the reading, and I can give you more clarity that way than just a general reading. So please don't email me asking me how does this work for you, or could it possibly be this. That has to be a personal reading. Let me see, what else do I want to tell you? Not a whole lot, except I've already pre-shuffled the deck. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. I have the Muha Tarot here with me. This is a new deck. I like it a lot. I have the Angel Answer cards. I have the Sibilas. I have the Neapolitans for further clarification. And I'm introducing another new deck, which is called the Impressionist Tarot. And I really like it a lot, but it behaves more like a oracle deck than a tarot deck. At least for me it does. I have to spend a little bit more time with it to see if I can get it to read like a tarot deck for me. You have to imprint with your decks. So I have one deck. I'm scared of it. I'm going to have to get rid of it. I don't like it at all. Okay, so we just saw a card pop out, and this is the High Priestess. Okay. The High Priestess is all about using your intuition. It is the feminine expression of the moon. Yes, we do have a new moon in Scorpio coming up, so maybe and this moon, I think, is going to be, particularly falling so close to Halloween, it's going to be one where if you have any abilities, those of you out there, sensitive people, highly sensitive people, you will be perhaps receiving information. I know that I have. I actually had to stop a couple of days because I had a lot of psychic activity going on around me in my house. So, the High Priestess knows things. Now, she's a student, she's a scholar, and she is always studying. She knows things, but she doesn't always tell people things, what she knows. And she can be very, very observant and very, very intuitive. So let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. It's not the moon, which speaks to subconscious. This is someone who is kind of in a position. This could even be someone who, let's say, works with secret documents. She sees a lot of things, but she doesn't say anything. She does hold the Torah on her lap. Okay? So she could have a position where she, a rather high position, people look up to her. She knows a lot, but she doesn't say a lot due to her position. She holds the keys to the library. I have the Four of Swords. I have the King of Pentacles. So that's two fours that I have here. So in other words, whatever's going on with this High Priestess energy, it is static right now. Okay? Now, whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, the reading will apply. Whomever's going to take the role of the male or the female. I've had a King of Pentacles show up. I have a Four of Cups. That's three fours. Now, in one interpretation of the three fours, this could be a change of address. Someone thinking about moving. Okay? I'll have to give you the other interpretation in a second. Well, here's the Chariot. So there's definitely somebody thinking about moving. Okay, whether or not they're thinking about changing locales or changing locations, it could simply be you're moving from an apartment to a house to an apartment. Well, there's definitely some kind of movement here after all of this being in one place and kind of stewing over what it is you need to be doing. We have the swords, which represents our thoughts, communications, our perceptions, our ideas, and beliefs. We have the coins, which represent on the material plane our money, what we're worth, our possessions, um, the actual doing of something. That's the physical plane. And then I have the cups here, which are all about our emotional state. Now, the chariot represents Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. It rules the fourth house, which is the house of home, hearth, and the mother. Five of Swords, the Tower, and then the Three of Wands. This damn Seven of Swords, I think, has been in every single reading. I mean, I'm so sick of this card. Here it is again. I mean, literally, it's been almost in every single reading I've done for the month of November. You might want to check some other readers to see if that cards keep coming up for them, but I'm just like, I'm about sick of looking at it. Okay, so now even though we only have one pentacle represented and it is a king, we all know that at some point in time that we all have masculine and feminine energies. So we're going to leave that like that. But this is speaking about someone who's at the height of their power, perhaps. And I would agree with that because I see that this king here, here's the Chariot. And this is trying to make a move. This is trying to do something, trying to go somewhere, trying to harness. Again, we have those sphinxes there, the masculine and feminine, the light against the dark. So we're trying to harness that energy so that we can move forward. And I do see that there has been some strife over this. Here is the Five of Swords. This is really somebody keeping something under wraps and trying to move and moving forward with it. Indeed, they have withdrawn themselves from, see, this is past, present, future, and then the interplay of the cards. So right in the center, I have the Chariot, and that is about focus. It is about determination. It is about movement. It is about trying to, you know, the Chariot is a war vehicle. That's what it was in ancient times. And so that meant that, you know, you would get in it and get ready to go to battle. And it was, you know, could be hundreds, if not thousands of miles where you would have to go to the theater to fight. We do see there has been a fight here. See that? There's been a fight. And typically when I see this Five of Swords, fives speak to the group dynamic. So there was more than one person that you've been fighting against. And maybe you didn't even realize you've been fighting against more than one person. Because sometimes the High Priestess can represent a hidden person in a situation. But it speaks to influences coming from the outside that creates a whole bunch of tension. But we see that there's been a fight and someone walking away victoriously, perhaps, because here I have the Tower. And I think this is an odd placement for this Tower to be. I think this is the most pivotal card because it falls in both the last card of the vertical past row, and it is the first card of the future row. So that's a very, very important spot in a 9-card spread. All of this is the energies moving forward. And as we can see, you know, we got this king. He leaning on his rod all sassy like this page here. So this is some news coming in that I think that this page is weighing up. and he's got the desire to do something, but the way he's leaning and the way he looks on this, he's not quite sure about it just yet. Okay, he's considering it. I don't know. You know, because this may cause a lot of arguments. It may cause a lot of fights. The Four of Swords represents withdrawing from a situation. Having to take time out so that you can gather your thoughts. Because I see it attached to this High Priestess, this is literally, again, perhaps someone not speaking or not saying anything. They're keeping their thoughts to themselves. It's like they're planning, somebody's planning something. We can see it here, the High Priestess, the Chariot, and then the Three of Wands. But what's interesting about, there's a few cards, I think there's only like one or two, maybe three, where somebody has their back to us. And this is someone turning their back on something. They're turning their back on something because they feel that maybe there's something better out there, or there's something more out there, or they're going to try to do it a different way. Now, this is, the coins represent the physicality of doing something, but the wands represent the ambition and the desire to do it. And we can see that someone is either waiting for their ships to come in, okay, or they're sending their ships out. So this is about, the three is about planning. It's about putting long-term plans into play. And you thought about it with the twos, okay? You thought about it with the twos. You know, what options do I have? Well, now you're at the three. So that means you figured out the option that you're going to take. You know which path you're going to take. Now you've chosen a path, okay? And now all you got to do is go do it, okay? So, you know, sometimes that's a fly by the seat of your pants kind of energy. All right, well, I've got it down, you know, and I've been thinking about, do I have enough money? You know, I don't really know if I don't feel secure in what it is that I'm doing, but you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and be focused and determined, and I'm going to do it anyway. But it is this Five of Swords and this Tower. Now, sometimes I see these two cards together, the Tower and the Chariot, and it could mean that there might be, you might have trouble with your car. It could break down. You know, you ain't even been thinking about that. Okay. Why? Because you've been thinking about other shit. And so, the Four of Cups, looks like there was an offer put forth, but it, you know, it wasn't perhaps that attractive. But sometimes I see this card as to say that, you know, consider the offer anyway. Remember I said he's thinking about doing it. See? But there's something interesting about this fourth cup that's being offered to this person underneath the tree. It looks cracked. It looks cracked. And it could be that there was something about the offer that might have been a little lacking. Something, lacking is not really the right word. There was something, maybe it even speaks to a fragile quality. It was too fragile, or it was too, things were able to seep out. It wasn't solid. The cracks imply that things were able to leak out. So it's something that wasn't real solid, but it created some kind of argument or fight or battle. But right after that, we have this Tower. And to me, it kind of reads like on this row, you know, okay, so I really wasn't fighting. What I was fighting for really wasn't that important. Or it could be that, you know, you didn't see the importance of what you were fighting for, and suddenly you get it, okay? And all of a sudden that puts a fire in your belly. Now, with this, I see the Chariot, and, you know, and one of the old interpretations of the Seven of Swords is a home move. I never ever see that in the imagery of that card. I've never seen one card where it looks as though somebody is moving house. What I can say is that this is someone that's picking up their thoughts, their beliefs, their ideas, and they're kind of slinking out of town. Again, it's like somebody's planning something. Um, and what's interesting is that this person on the Seven of Swords is coming back into the spread as if he's running away from something else and coming back into the spread. You know, so these and just this Three of Wands, he's turned his back on something. There was a fight, whatever this was, it cleared the air. The person got the aha moment, and now they're going to move forward, and they're turning their back on something or someone. But they're not telling anybody, or they're watching somebody do this. This could even just be about trusting that the direction in which you're going is where you're supposed to go. Don't worry about what happens after you make the choice to do so. You know, it could be this king, this king energy will be coming back, and you don't know. This says that. See, there's something unknown about this, and I can't, because that's really what the High Priestess is. If she had fallen here, I would tell you, I don't know what the hell this is about, because the answer is unknown. This is what the High Priestess represents when she falls in this. But there's also something unknown that surrounds this whole thing. And maybe that's why we have the 3 4s there. Let me give you the other interpretation. One of them is a definite, says a home move. And the other one says, this one says lasting stability, possibility after a house move, or moving in together. See, we got the moving cards. I'm sorry, no, that's 4 4s. 3 4s is a house move. I mean, now let me look at the other one, because I think the other one speaks to being a little too cautious in what you're doing. Instead of going out and doing something, you know, and that's us Virgos. We'll think some crap to death. We will think it and think it and think it. My mom used to say, God damn, you done thought the thought out of that particular thought, you know. You move so slow. Like, man, I got plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I just can't be doing it like that. I gotta have, you know, and it's not that I can plan for every eventuality. That's impossible. But I like to have options. I like to be able to move and do exactly what I think you know, if something unexpected comes up, I can immediately change course. And you know, that's kind of what this reads like, is somebody's changing course. You see the Chariot is going this way, and then all of a sudden the person is going that way. But there's something else coming that you don't see, and I think that's what that Seven of Swords represents. Okay, 3 4s appearing in a reading implies that you are being overly cautious about everything. And yeah, that's Virgo energy. Especially when it comes to doing something for ourselves. We got no problem getting up and doing something for other people. But when it comes to doing something for ourselves, we tend to deliberate sometimes so long that we end up doing nothing for ourselves. I think some of you may be moving, or at least have been thinking about moving. Okay? I think that some of you have some other things that you want to do. There's a bunch of fire that this spread ends with in the future row. This could have to do with your finances. You know, we've just had Jupiter in Libra, and I'm telling you, I have been working like a Hebrew slave. I have. I'm not complaining. I'm just like, wow. You know, I'm a little shocked and a little taken aback by that. But then I have to look back to 2015 and 2014. You know, this isn't didn't just come about because Jupiter came. You know, I had been doing the work. I'd been laying the groundwork. I just didn't know where it was going to go. You know, I got some more stuff I want to do. You know how that goes. My friend be like, "Oh, you so busy, man. You busy all the time." I'm like, dude, I got stuff to do. I've been trying to get out and hang out with my friends a bit more. Go places, see things, do things. That's been nice. I've run into people I haven't seen in a while. You know, this is so funny because it's like we're at rest here. And then all of a sudden, we just decide we're going to move. And maybe this could be just suddenly getting up and doing it, where you shock everybody. We do something characteristically un-Virgo-like. You know what I mean? I'm packing and I'm moving to Japan. You know, you don't even speak Japanese. And, you know, it could be something like that because it's literally like, you know, and there's some loss here associated with this high priestess. And there's something that the high priestess is holding on to. There's something that she knows, or maybe she doesn't quite know just yet what that is. But there's something here. And I get a feeling of sadness here with this. So let's take a look. Because I'm telling you, these readings have been strange. And, you know, I think it's the more we come up against the Halloween, the veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And we got that new moon in Scorpio. So I don't know. This could literally be the lightning bolt from the sky that you get the idea and you just take off. But it's like something else is coming to meet you. And I'm going to look at that. I want to look at this Four of Cups here. Privacy, solitude, and intimacy. That's what this card speaks about. But yet there's nobody in the room. Now this falls on that Four of Cups. And this is about emotions, whatever this is. Sometimes the Four of Cups can be not that you don't accept the offer, or not that the offer is not that attractive. It could be that you were disappointed. You know, you got these three things here, and maybe it's a little bit disappointing what is being offered to you. I know, you know, we got high standards. The Giovani Fanciulla. Okay, this is she's the virgin of the deck, so we could say this is the Virgo spread. And here we are doing what we do best. We worry, but this card speaks to excessive doubt and suspicion. It also speaks to excessive attachment. And with these fours, that excessive attachment can simply be that you're not moving out of your comfort zone. You feel like you're okay where you are. You know, sometimes this card shows up to say, you know, hang on. If your physical security feels threatened, you know, then you want to take steps to protect that, you know, your valuables and whatnot. And then, you know, it says that sometimes you should sit firmly right where you are. Maybe sitting still is the best thing. Okay. And in a way, it's kind of like in being in this space of you've been holding your thoughts, you haven't been making any moves, you haven't even been allowing your emotions really to get, you know, out of control or to come up. But then we see this movement come in. Now let's look at this Five of, this is definitely someone planning. It's the Five of Swords. This is the key, I think. That card kind of bothers me more than the Seven of Swords. This Tower. Because the Tower comes in to clear the air. So this is after the battle. You know, after the battle's done, the Tower, it's a brand new way to build. It's time to build something new now. the Superbia. Now this card can represent success. You know, we see a peacock, it's beautiful, what a beautiful bird. But it can also represent ostentation, ostentatiousness, vanity, arrogance, haughtiness, someone's ego, someone showing their true colors. And then we have the Limoneo. This is the card of nuptials. And then we have the Casa, the house. So there's a battle. There was some kind of fight and argument involving either someone's perhaps superiority complex about what marriage and home means, or you know, this is just a weird combination. But there's a battle. There were words had, and there's a separation, a breakup. But remember that it's group dynamics. It's a 5. Outside influences. Nevertheless, the influences I feel perhaps were so powerful that it created a rupture here. And if this is an earth sign male that you're dealing with, who's been sitting on the fence, this 4 hasn't been doing anything, hasn't really been saying anything, perhaps has been showing no emotion. He's moving. He's trying to gather and marshal his forces to move. But again, it speaks to some outside influences. There's some squabbling going on here. There's some fighting and nitpicking going on here. And it definitely has to do with relationships, contracts, and property. I'm just going to look at it like that. And maybe this is why you have not heard from this person, if this is the case. The Tower. Now it's a negative change on top of a negative. Well, the Tower's not always negative, and I don't think that we should view it as something negative, because the energy of the Tower simply means that the time has come now to make a change, okay? Because you've been stuck in these 4s for so long. You know, it's time for you to move, and maybe you're not moving fast enough because the universe has something that it wants you to do. It's trying to do something for you. So it comes in and creates a situation where stuff just blows up all of a sudden. Well, guess what? All of that energy is dispelled then. And now it's like it's a brand new wave of energy trying to come in. So we have the Yardro, which speaks to a theft. Well, we know that people, some kind of theft of goods, theft of services, theft of your time, your emotions, your thoughts, money, or your idea of what security is. Wow. Again, it's like some kind of family or friendship issue. There's the Alegria. Celebration with family and friends. But why? Look, it's a damn tower. So, you know, there's theft of money. Service is good, but I'm assuming that it has to do with some friend or some family member. I do have the house here. Let's see what this is definitely a message coming in. And somebody ready to start a new journey. The 2 together. This could literally be somebody traveling, wanting to travel, wanting to move. It may not even, you know, and maybe this is what the fight is over. Somebody's saying, look, I gotta go. I can't stay anymore. So they're turning their back on these things. Why? Because it no longer excites them mentally. They're bored. They're not growing in any way. It's no longer emotionally fulfilling for them. So they've got to move. stagnant energy. I want to look at the Chariot. Yeah, somebody's, look, conversation, the letter, and the Vegetable. But he's the outgoing card. So somebody is about to be saying goodbye. And perhaps they've already said so. Or maybe they're trying to get up the courage to do so. You see, this is the lonely, sad man tied to his past. But the cards are saying that the Chariot says, well, you know, you got to come out of that energy now. Okay? It's time for you to take up something new. And maybe this particular feeling is causing this fight. Maybe it takes the betrayal of a friend or a family member, something that surprises you, that really says, you know what, that's it. I got to turn my back on this. I can't do it anymore. You know, and if this is you, Virgo, finding yourself in a situation where, you know, you've always been doing for people and doing for people and doing for people, and you never really get anything in return. Well, I think the cards are saying that, you know, it's okay to be selfish for yourself. If you're not doing it from a narcissistic standpoint, you know, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. And there should be no shame and no guilt in that. Let's look at the Seven of Swords. Well, what the hell? And it's an Namiko on top of that. What the hell? Look, there was a meeting or a reunion or a get-together. But I would say with the Death card, Morte, this is a complete separation. Okay, it's a complete separation. But I have this Namiko because we know that death also brings a new beginning, but there's a new enemy on the horizon. If not an enemy, then a rival. There's that Seven of Swords. But what's interesting is that they're running into each other. Look at this. And neither one of them knows that they're coming. They're both looking in opposite directions. Okay? He's running, he got the snake in his hand, and he's coming with the swords. And it's like a clash. And I do feel that's so because look what's underneath the deck. The Knight of Wands. And he is not bullshitting. Even a horse looks like he'll kick your ass. So, I don't know what that means. That is just so odd because I was going to say, you know, this could be a warning that if you are going to move, don't loan anybody any money at this time unless you're absolutely positive, certain that you can do without it. I don't care, friends, family, whatever. Don't extend yourself out to people too much. Don't do too much for people because I think the cards are clearly trying to warn that there's someone around you in your midst that you can't trust. And if you are moving, you know, double check your contracts. I wouldn't sign anything around this new moon. I would wait if I could. I would stall if I could, because it's like, you know, you're running away from that crap. You're trying to get away from this Namiko, but it's like you run into perhaps another one. I don't know. It's just the oddest thing. Let's see what happens. And maybe this is why we're turning our back. And we're sitting in our own power. We're just going to do it for ourselves, which is not a bad thing, Virgo. You know, I think we are so trustworthy and we always want to think the best of people in our own naive kind of way, you know. And most people think because we are like that, that they can just run over us and treat us any kind of way. And Sometimes we'll put up with it 1 or 2 times. I'm not like that. I'm older now. You get one time to screw me, and then that's it. You could be on fire outside. I'll be like, don't burn my grass, but take it over there to the sidewalk. You burn me once, and that is it. But I'm older now. When you're in your 20s and stuff, you tend to give people so many chances, and they end up disappointing you over and over and over again. They keep taking it. I'm just going to take it. Why? Because I know the Virgo will give it. Yeah. And I think what this card is, you see, that person's all alone there. And they're headed out to make their own destiny. Because you know exactly what you want. All right. This is the card of contracts and negotiations, the Mercante. This is the guy who goes out, who's got the plan to get it done. Okay. See, he even got his little trunks ready to go on his ship. Okay. Now, this says that you may meet somebody who's going to help you. Yes? All I'm going to say is to be cautious with any new people that you come in contact with. Okay? This looks all positive, but these cards, this Namiko falling on this 7 of Swords, I don't know. It just, and what it could be saying is that if you have, be cautious, because there could be somebody who's going to try to thwart whatever your plans are. We had a meeting that was, like, say, canceled. But it was canceled because of someone that's on the horizon. Okay? So please be cautious. And maybe this is why the High Priestess has come out to tell you to be vigilant, to use your intuition, keep your plans to yourself. Don't tell everybody what it is you're trying to do. I don't care how much they say they're your friend and they love you. And be knowledgeable. That's what that says. Remember, she's a teacher and she's a scholar. She knows, she got the keys to the library. And if anybody can do research, it's Virgos. So do your research. Sometimes that card can speak to plagiarism and you're needing to do the research. If you're meeting someone new, find out all you can about that person, because there may be something about them that could make or break you in whatever manner that means. Whoa, whoa, 2 cards flew out. Well, let's see what they are. I don't even know which one flew out first. I think it was this one. Now, this is interesting because the card says compromise. And that might be what you have to do in this situation. But if you're going to do that, you still want to try to get the best deal that you can for yourself. Don't be all like, oh, I'm a Virgo, I don't need that, I'm really not in it for this. No. Because you're going to end up, with the brunt of the work anyway. So, get something out of it for yourself. Now, a year from now, I don't know what the hell this means. So maybe this answers a question for somebody out there in the Virgo world. If you like me, I'm like a damn year. Jesus. So, but we just had Jupiter in Virgo, and we really don't start reaping the rewards until 2017. And 2017 is going to be a hard year, people. We've had all of these wonderful opportunities presented to us in 2016. And then, that was just the start. The real work comes in 2017. So be cautious moving forward in any of your endeavors. Do the best that you can, and don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake. I know we like to do that. Chalk it up to experiences and keep it moving. That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste.